From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, April the 20th, 2021. The bipartisan Senate Anti-Semitism Task Force sent a letter to President Joe Biden yesterday calling on him to name an ambassador to monitor and combat anti-Semitism. Elon Carr had filled the position for 2 years under President Trump. Task Force chairs Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada and Republican Senator Jim Lankford of Oklahoma spearheaded the initiative, signed by another 20 senators. It reads in part to combat the rising tide of global anti-Semitism. The State Department's special envoy to monitor and combat anti-Semitism works to promote accurate Holocaust education, improve the safety and security of at-risk Jewish communities, ensure foreign public officials condemn anti-Semitic discourse, and strengthen foreign judicial systems in their prosecution of anti-Semitic incidents. Senator Rosen tweeted of the letter today, writing that with anti-Semitism on the rise around the world, we can't afford to wait to fill this critical position. A new app has shut down several of its chat rooms over complaints of anti-Semitism. The Jewish Insider reports that Clubhouse, which lets users meet up in virtual rooms to talk with each other, said we shut down a number of rooms found to be in violation and, where appropriate, issued suspensions and removed users indefinitely, adding that all forms of racism, anti-Semitism, hate speech, and abuse are prohibited on Clubhouse and are a direct violation of the community guidelines. This after a complaint was made by an individual who observed a chat on the app of some 200 people that promoted hateful anti-Semitic tropes and accusations. CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt, tweeted that the reports of anti-Semitism on the app are alarming. He said it's necessary the company took some action yesterday, but much more needs to be done to ensure all users, Jewish and non-Jewish alike, feel safe and secure on the platform. Sudan has officially annulled its law boycotting Israel. We had reported to you 2 weeks ago that the Sudanese cabinet voted to repeal the law, which was created back in 1958, which forbid diplomatic and business relations with Israel. The same vote earlier this month also affirmed Sudan's support for the establishment of a Palestinian state as part of a two-state solution. Well, yesterday, the removal of the anti-Israel boycott law received final approval from Sudan's ruling Sovereign Council. These developments come several months after Sudan normalized ties with Israel last year. Jewish organizations welcomed the annulment of the anti-Israel law. The American Jewish Committee tweeted it was a breakthrough. There is much to look forward to, they wrote, as Israel and Sudan grow closer together. Meanwhile, Bahrain announced direct flights to Tel Aviv this week. Israel Daily Globes reported that the state-owned Gulf Air said it will begin direct flights to Tel Aviv in June. Bahrain was one of the first Arab countries to normalize ties with Israel back in September of last year, alongside the United Arab Emirates, whose Etihad Airways has been flying from Dubai to Israel since February. A new monument was unveiled yesterday in Warsaw, Poland, on the 78th anniversary of the beginning of the Warsaw Ghetto uprising. The monument is made up of a glass cube placed above an underground chamber where tens of thousands of documents recording the horrors of life in the ghetto were hidden from the Nazis and then recovered after the Holocaust. The Ringelblum archive includes some 30,000 items like ration cards, medical prescriptions, drawings, and letters and postcards, all collected in the Warsaw Ghetto by a secret group of some 50 or 60 activists called Oyneg Shabbos, meaning Sabbath joy, who then buried everything in metal boxes and milk cans. Only 3 members of the group survived the Holocaust and enabled the archive to be found and retrieved. The monument's creator, Łukasz Mielkowski, said that the collection was intended as a time capsule with the hope that this trove, he said, would witness better days. Piotr Wislicki, who leads the Association of the Jewish Historical Institute in Poland, said that without the archive, the history of the Jewish ghetto, of this terrible place, this hell on earth, would never have been documented. By the way, a monument in tribute to Oneg Shabbos has begun construction, with the first stone laid yesterday for it at the Jewish cemetery in Warsaw. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, April the 20th at 7 o'clock. It's from the Aleph Bet. At 7:30, environmentalists address the global climate crisis and discuss a coherent and achievable path forward that federations and Jewish organizations can use to tackle the challenges and opportunities the crisis presents. That's from the Jewish Federation of North America's General Assembly last year. At 9, 3 giants in the field of First Amendment law, Floyd Abrams, Alan Dershowitz, and Nadine Strassen, explore concepts of free speech, hate speech, and cancel culture in a 2-hour special with Mark S. Golub. And coming up next on The Der Show, Alan Dershowitz looks at the threat to Israel from Iran. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, April the 20th, 2021. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy. Stay well.